Okay, this is making me feel really uncomfortable. Not like it. Is my mic on? Okay. Well then, let's go. This is the Quiet Coyote Podcast, and I'm your host, John Jeremy, and we got my buddies right here. We have Angel with me.
What up, what up, what up?
And then we also have, coming back again, we have my man, JP.
What's going on, everyone?
What's going on? JP, how have you been?
I've been flexing.
You've been flexing
No,
since the
no.
last time you've been here?
No,
Tell me about
no.
your flexing.
I'm not flexing.
You're not
I
flexing?
gained about like 10 pounds and I'm eating a lot of donuts.
Yo, but it's all mass. It's all mass.
Massive fat.
No,
love it.
you are cultivating mass.
We've been through this, okay? I'm cultivating mass.
Thickness is always good
Thick with 2 C's.
with 2 C's.
Oh, I hear that. You've been doing some stuff since the last time we spoke. A lot of people liked the episode that you were on.
Aw,
They enjoyed
thanks,
it.
guys. Thank you for letting me on. It was great. And a lot of things have been happening with the music, with the art, with traveling. That's going to start soon.
Yeah? Where you going?
Going to
Ohio?
Miami. Oh, I did Ohio already. Miami. Miami's next.
Tell
We
me-
got a big thing. We're going to Miami, maybe some Windward in Florida. I'm going to bring John with me.
Yeah, let's go. Welcome to Miami. I like this.
But this, oh yeah, my sister made it for me on my birthday.
Your birthday? Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
It was awesome. Yeah, she made me this phoenix. It's cool. It's different. It's not my regular.
No, I really like this, and it looks like there's a dragon here for all those that can see it.
The dragon. That's biblical.
Yeah, that is. Is it?
Dragons are biblical.
Are they known as beasts? Oh no, the dragon
The
out of
dragon, yeah.
Revelations. We're talking Bible talk.
It's going down.
It's going down with the Bible talk. It's so early. It's like early in the episode.
That was what does they say? Too soon. Too soon.
No, but I like these rocks too.
My rocks. This it's just a thing for the
For the watch.
watch. You can have it. Do you want the?
He's gonna give me his no,
Not
no,
the
no, I
watch.
don't, no.
You
He's
want
gonna
some-
give
you want
me
some
his
rocks?
watch. Last time you came and you delivered gifts to us, which we really appreciated. And we-
Awesome.
And I thought you were just gonna give us some more gifts right now. With the
I
rocks.
always give. I think being a giver is key to being, who you are in life.
No, yeah, no. Well, you're always very generous, and we thank you for that. Tell us how your birthday was.
It was cool. Last year I died, so we'll start off with a negative to bring it all the way to a positive.
Last year you died.
I died physically.
Tell me.
I died in the hospital.
You literally died.
My
You were-
neck snapped in half. I died for about, I think it was like 10 seconds.
Hey, no way.
Yeah,
Really?
7 seconds, some small number, but I still died.
So you had an NDE,
I don't know what it means, but yeah.
near death experience.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
The crazy part about that is everyone's like, "Did you see the light?" I'm like, "No, I didn't see the light. The only light I saw was the hospital lights." But then I realized my neck was broken and they did surgery in the back. So guess what? I actually did see the light because I was upside down on
So
surgery.
there was no actual light. There's not like this light, that light. that
Right, I
light, there's
thought
no
it
light.
was that,
You thought it was this light,
but it wasn't. It was the actual the light.
the lights.
That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
About the light or the accident?
Both.
So the accident.
I've got nowhere to go for a half hour.
The accident was basically an accident. Things happen. And I forgive myself. I forgive the people. I forgive the circumstances. And I want to just go forward and be happy with who I've become. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have found the most amazing woman in my life. I wouldn't have had the greatest experience I've had ever, especially with John. My journey has been getting better ever since. I don't mean I'm healthier, but I do mean that it's been better. It's been a feeling of it's not borrowed time, it's given time. You know what I mean? It's it's just about the day and the time that you have here.
I like that. No, that's beautiful. And shout out to your girl.
Shout out to Kat.
Yo, shout out to Cat.
Shout out the cat.
Meow. That's so awesome. See, and out of that reminds me of a Bible line that says, "What was meant for evil, God will use for good."
That's right.
I don't know if I mean I can't pretend that I know the Bible like that. We were talking about this before the podcast about Bible stuff and about like just maybe some misconceptions. So like even taking it out of context, I know for myself, being in recovery, we take certain lines and we use them, hopefully to do better things with the lines, or we can like weaponize them. So we could take like some recovery jargon and weaponize it and just say, well, we're not doing this or you're not doing that. And it says that we should do this. And like, I see very similar parallels in almost like organized religion or spirituality of some people. That's why a lot of people that I know, I think you probably maybe also you too, like a lot of people don't like religion and they enjoy spirituality more because they feel religion is either rigid or it's condemning, where I feel the opposite.
Yeah, I honestly feel that when you're looking at fellowship, that's key. You could be in a million different churches, and if you don't feel that brotherly love or that sister and brotherly love or family love, what's the point? You're giving to a cause because you think that that's the right cause, but when you got the right family behind you, backing you with understanding and love and commitment, then it's worth doing all the work. It's worth giving and displaying time with people and giving to God too, because now you're not just giving to God, God's giving to you, and you're just giving back what he gave to you. So you got to find the right niche, the right people, the right circumstances. When people go in, like they call it like church hopping, it's because they're trying to find the right place to be, or when they're going religion hopping or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, no, for sure. People are just on a journey trying to find who they are. Do you feel like you ever been church hopping? It's kind of like when you've been going to a church or like you're trying to find the right place that you rock in, whatever.
Yeah, like growing up, like it was forced down. Like religion was like forced down my throat, so I kind of like just resisted for like so long, and I just never felt like loved at the church I was growing up. It was just more like they were just more judgy and stuff, and like there's a lot of like drama and all that stuff, and I just didn't like it at all. And it wasn't until like 2 years or a year ago I started going to the church John goes to and stuff, and I felt like the brotherly love, like the family aspect of it and stuff. Finally, after all these years and stuff, so yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I love the family aspect because that's what the last on Sunday. That's what they were talking about. Like this is a family, and
Yeah.
as a family, we try to like help each other, love each other, also correct each other. Moving as a family, but always as a family. Because I don't know one family that's like they in the 50s or beyond, like around them, they used to paint this picture of the perfect family on TV. We all know like it doesn't get
Brady
wrapped
Bunch?
up. Yeah, dude. Or I was thinking more of like Leave It to Beaver or like, any of those families that were like, hey.
Well, the Brady Bunch was like a divorcee family or like a widow, right? Or some
Yeah, it was
widow.
like
Oh,
they were
yeah.
divorced, they got together and yeah. Yeah, but every family is kind of like, we're all a real family goes through real stuff. And I think like you were talking about the church, which is really nice. Like I said, shout out to One Hope Church, where Angel feels like, their family, which is awesome. I love that. I understand where you're coming from because when I first came into recovery, my father had gotten sober through the church, and I tried to do the same thing. And I remember I was so desperate to stay sober. I didn't stay sober, but I went to like that church. They had a retreat, and I went on the retreat, and we all went in a big van, and my father wasn't there, so I tried and I went, and like I remember, and I don't blame people or the church or anything, but like I just felt like they kind of knew each other. I remember just like sitting on the couch and watching TV in this like hotel or Airbnb type of thing, and like, but like not really connecting with anybody. I had a few conversations here and there, but it just wasn't clicking for me, and like that's where I kind of like, I was trying to understand why it was not clicking for me, and I was really frustrated. And as a person that's like suffering from like alcoholism or something, like that was really rough for me. That it was just wasn't clicking for me, and that's okay. Like you said, right? Find your people, or try to find people that like where you can click with and like get in there. Because I think there's probably a lot of people, maybe even listening to the podcast, where they feel like they don't, like they don't click. Or my experience is the church hopping comes from like everything's cool, everything's cool. Oh, I don't like this. I'm gonna go now. I'm leaving. I'm jumping the ship, and that's like you're in a relationship, right? Like
Once you're there,
relationships are like you just can't bail every time you don't like something. That's
right.
not how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But when you get into the opportunity to be with the right kind of people, you want to meet them where they're at. So you're willing to go through those obstacles. It's Jesus did it, right? Like when you look at the apostles, or how you want to really put everything together, everybody was met where they were. They weren't met at the altar, or they weren't met like somewhere that was somewhere high. They were met in bars, on the side of the road with the fish, disabled, just in a sick bed. Like he met them where they were, and he didn't meet them in places where they weren't themselves. And that's what we have to find is who are we, and then who comforts us in that time of who we are. And then if we get through a little bit of a scuffle or an understanding or an ability, we've been friends for so long. How many scuffles have we had, and we've always like showed love the next day? Not even like,
oh yeah. No, for sure, 100%. There's times that even with Angel, me and Angel, we just haven't like talked for a bit. I'm just like, all right, we just doing our own thing, and like or we do bump heads, and ask any of my good friends, we can sit and say I don't agree. I sat last week at a bonfire, and Jamie comes on the podcast, and she said some of the stuff she believes in, and I said, all right, and I understand. I said, I don't agree with that. Like I don't.
right.
We don't see eye to eye, and we were both like, she's like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm like, me too.
But you meet each other where you're at, right? And
We
that's the
met
key
each other
point.
where we're at. Like when you said that just now, like something clicked in my brain where it's like there's very few instances of I'm gonna use Christianity for example. Like there's very few instances where we all can agree on few things, right? And I think that like no matter what denomination of Christianity someone follows, I think that's one of the things that is a thread that everyone can agree that like the disciples, apostles, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
that they were here and that Jesus came down to them. I don't know which denomination ever said, well, the apostles were like holy, these people that were. No,
Yeah.
I think
Later on, they got
whether
to
you're
that, right?
Protestant, Baptist, Lutheran.
So what was another thing I found out when Peter and Paul met each other? Peter and Paul didn't have good conversations. They weren't okay with each other, from what I know.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Actually, Pastor Stephen, who we're gonna get on here, was talking about that they like
But they accepted each other for being followers of Jesus and loving him and building with him. Regardless of all the circumstances, they were still cool. It's like we're still brothers because we do follow something we relate to. I'm not saying that everybody relates to the same thing, but when you find a good family, whatever that family is, it's going to help you build a better, like you've helped me grow so much in life. I've watched you go through things, you've watched me, and we just use each other's, even now with Angel in our lives, in my life too. Like, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Watching him do this or watch this happen like this. And it's like, how do I make myself a better person?
I like that because I watch Angel too. Angel, you've been able to live life, and you shared about your sobriety and on this podcast. Like Angel would just go out and just like live life and be like, oh, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to Brooklyn tonight for this thing. I'm gonna go here, and then the next day, it just surprised me and be at church, and like just be here, like even drumming for the church or like whatever events are coming up, like you're living life, like you're a lot free. And from what you described before, you were like really trapped in like some really crazy addiction.
Yeah.
Which I haven't shared, and it's not my stories to share, but like
Yeah.
they were pretty great because to see where you were to where you are,
Yeah.
it's like crazy,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. How like a couple years ago I was just really deep into like some really dark stuff and addictions, and now a couple years later, I'm living life to the fullest and just not caring what anyone thinks and just doing what I want to do.
What do you think? What do you think for you was there any turning point, especially with the church that you go to now? Is there anything in particular? Or you just kept coming and you felt just the love, or what? What would it be for you? It's like you
I
said.
just kept coming because like you said, oh, you should come to church. I was like, maybe because like I like mind you, I haven't been to church in years before that and stuff. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go. And I met the pastor, and he treated me like family. So like
Oh,
that really brought me back. Was like how it was family oriented and stuff, and how everyone is a family, and I loved that, and I was craving that for a long time, and that's why I stayed.
that's really awesome. What
Yeah.
What was your introduction to a church like? Do you remember? When you just grew up. You just
Well,
you were born in a church.
so the craziest thing
You
is
were born in a manger.
I was.
No.
I'm not even mad about that. But no, my grandmother like threw me into Christ when I was young, like really young.
Oh, that's so
Like she was like, Jesus is about this. Life is like we'd fall asleep to stories about Christ.
Oh.
Later on in life, I was like, well, how does this doesn't add up? This doesn't add up because I'm young. I'm not doing the research. So I wound up meeting a good friend that saved my life and put me in a good perspective on worldly things. Shout out to Greg Zilb. And he taught me about how to structuralize. And then he was into a lot of like Buddhist ways of life and martial arts. And I went that route for a while. And I was like, wow, like this is really working for me. It's letting me understand honesty and building and giving. And I worked out real well for a while until I had my own downfalls. And there was nowhere for me to go.
Yeah.
And then, you know, having Jesus in your life already, understanding Jesus enough to be like, I have to give him another shot. I gotta really put my time into God. Let me read my book. Let me take time in fellowship. Let me find people that want to interact with me at my lowest points. And when I find the people that want to interact, listen to what I'm saying to the people that want to interact. Find me where I'm at my lowest points, were the ones that help me push forward. And then I started realizing little by little. Shout out to Hadassah, who's one of those people too. She's a great friend of mine. She helped baptize me.
I
Later
think
on,
I know her, right?
yeah,
From
it,
the yeah.
it took me a long time. I was in a church just trying to think, like, get word because I was at my lowest for like maybe like 5 to 10 years before I actually said I want to be baptized. I went to, and they didn't even know me.
Yeah.
I was literally hiding in the background, just listening to the word. And then one day I was like, it's time. And not because I felt like it's time, because God made that timing. It was like, you're going through enough. You're starting to understand more. We're starting to build. Are you ready to commit to me? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to commit to the cause. I'm ready to commit to who you are and what you gave me. And I got baptized. Hadassah was one of the people that helped baptize me. The story was crazy because I was at my church, and my church's like, all right, ready to baptize you. And then the church goes and says, no, we're not baptizing anybody today. And my whole family came out from Pennsylvania. My whole family, like a ton of people. So it was like almost like a disappointing feeling. I was like, I'm sorry and my grandmother goes to me because she has so much insight with Christ. And she's like, no, we had this conversation, me and God, you're still getting baptized. I was like, all right, cool. What are we doing? Are we just going in a sink, in the tub? She's like, no. There's a place that you've been in a bad place in, and we have to bring you there. So previous to that, I tell the story very loosely, but there was a place in Montauk I used to go, and I always thought about offing myself, like telling myself I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with life. And at that point, because of all the stress and the worldly things, I'd go there once a year or maybe twice a year, and I'd splurge all my money saying, this is going to be my last day. So let me just binge on everything that I feel is making me feel whatever, and then it's done. I never had the courage to do that, but I always had that feeling staying inside of me, that whole like, I'm done with life. I'm done with life.
Yeah.
And then once my grandmother and my friend Hadassah brought me out there, I was near the water. She's like, all right, here's the water. We're taking a walk. And it's raining. I mean, pouring like clouds and darkness. And it was like insane. They bring me in the water. Right. They bring me in the water. I'm getting pulled under. And they're standing up straight like nothing's going on with them. My body is like going under the water. And then, enough love and time passed in the water where I don't want to say my mom has pictures of this, but like the sun started to like omen over the mist, and like everything started to calm down. And once it calmed down, I was able to leave the water. And like my journey, I didn't feel any much different afterwards, but my journey really just started, not just with God, but actually in this world in a loving way. It really started. I was like, I made a commitment that I've stuck by my whole life now. And I've worked with what he's told me, how I feel in my heart with him, and even the change of names and how I was able to use it in enjoyable times. And it's just my experience with God will never disappear, and I'll stay with him till I die and after.
That's an amazing. Thank you for that testimony, man. That's really awesome. I love how and shout out to your grandma for that, for like not she's just like, I feel like people of faith, of strong faith are just that like, nah, man, like we're going to still do it.
Yeah.
The funny thing you mentioned that is like that's what happened at last Easter. We baptized people like at Easter, and somebody there that morning said, I just want to get baptized, and he was like, let's do it. Come in. We
The
don't have,
pastor said that. He was just like,
pastor-
come on, let's go.
Literally, like that's what it's about. Like Jesus Revolution, the movie. You've seen it?
No, I didn't see it. I heard so many good
Let's-
things about that movie.
No, let's watch. It's a true story, and there's a scene in there where like people were complaining that the hippies didn't have shoes, so they were walking and getting the rug dirty. So like there's a scene where like there's a big line, and the older people that used to go to the church were coming, and they see in a line of hippies, and the pastors in the front washing their feet before they come in because
That's cool.
there was being complained. But like the pastor of the church I go to now, which is why I like that he was like he doesn't care. He's like, let's do it. It's always let's do it. That's it. Like no, like he said the other day. I said about having the soup kitchen or having people come in and being concerned of like, is everybody gonna be okay with this? And he says whatever, like if the rugs get dirty, we don't care.
That's cool.
Like he like doesn't care about rugs.
Oh.
And that's what I like.
He's got a cool mural on that wall.
He's got
right
an
now.
awesome mural that he's doing.
Who's doing?
He did this beautiful mural and it's amazing, and I can't wait to like for everybody to come and see it. I mean, if I'm allowed to share pictures.
Yeah, come down to One Hope, see it in person.
No,
Forget the
because I
pictures.
could share pictures as I edit this, but also come down to One Hope in
yeah.
East Islip, New York. If you're in East Islip, New York, come down to One Hope.
John will rap for you.
Yeah, I'll go and I'll say a little rap for you. I'll do a little dance for you. Just tell me what you want me to do. Whatever to get you to come down and
Stop.
and hopefully feel welcome. But
You
Angel,
do make everybody welcome, though.
No.
Over to you too.
You really do.
Yeah, John, you're that kind of guy.
Thank you. Oh, shucks. But see, I have my baptism certificate on the wall. It's funny, my certificate for baptism that happened in last year, see, March 2024, is on my wall here, displayed for anyone to see. But my graduation diploma right there for audio engineering is all the way up there,
Hidden in the
hidden
back, right?
in the back, because this is more important. But me and Angel got baptized the same day. Angel was so emotional.
Yeah, there's a picture of me crying that day. Like
Angel was
bawling.
crying.
Yeah.
It was
I've
amazing.
never seen him cry before.
Yeah.
Let's pinch him.
I think the thing about it is like you hit it on the head. Meeting people where they're at. Do you think that I don't know. I'm trying to like word things and make sure they don't come out the wrong way. So I do filter myself on this podcast. Believe it or not, I do filter myself. But like, do you?
John's actually not like this. No, I'm joking.
No.
He's always like this.
I just want to make sure, because I want to make sure that like the people that I'm with, that I don't overstep and say things that like maybe they felt like they put on the spot. But do you? So do you like you were talking about the Buddhism stuff? You were talking about like do you ever feel any type of way if somebody believes something different? Like you said, you went through that journey, and I know I did. So I just feel like
I did at one point. Actually, you had to deal with that on my journey. When I was like when I was put into baptismal, and John was walking, he was in my condo, we were hanging out, he would be like, you're getting a little evangelistic on me. And I'd be like, my bad. Like, you don't realize you do it in the beginning, because it's so much information that you just start loving once you start appreciating it, that you want to give it. And then you don't realize you're kind of overstepping, because you're not meeting somebody where they're at. You're just trying to spoon feed somebody information that you got. And it's not okay. I think now that I've looked at it enough times, it's not okay to spoon feed anybody. People have to go through those experiences to love God, because that's their time with him. So little by little, I've learned how not to be so much like that. When I was going through the smaller part of my journey, But the larger part of my physical life with working with Greg Zilb and then going through some Buddhist circumstances, I was really liking the fact that I could be on that journey that I see on TV, or I'm looking like Jet Li, or it was all an idolized circumstance. Versus being with Christ, I don't feel like that.
Nice.
I feel that you're not idolizing anything. You're taking the time with Him. You're really just taking time and saying, I'm taking my time, my friendship with God, and I'm building with Christ and seeing how I could be more like Him with Him being with me and saying, okay, yeah, I'm doing this a little wrong. I still feel like this. Just remember, we all fall short. And like being that one kind of guy that's going to be, I'm going to do something wrong tomorrow. You're going to do something wrong tomorrow. None of us are good, and we just got to be okay with the fact that we're going to move forward from that. And hopefully in time, those things could change for our own self, not for anybody else, just for our time with God.
Yeah, that's exactly like how I feel about like we come in full circle, y'all. We're going this way. And he said like about like like he's saying force feeding, and you talked about how you didn't like it was shoved down your throat.
Right.
So we
Pretty much,
have
yeah.
that here. We have it right here where you're like you felt it was shoved down your throat. You said it perfectly. When people like they first start to try to do this, or they feel excited about it, and they're like, oh, like this is what it's all about, and I'm just gonna start sharing this with everybody. That happens with so many things, whether it be recovery or like your favorite football team or like this comic thing. Like I have people telling me, you gotta check out this show. I'm like, all right, I'll check. No, you don't. I'm gonna send you the link. I'm
I'm coming over. I'm putting
you're gonna watch this show with me, and it's like, bro, all right, I mean, like now I don't even want to watch the show. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
So it's like, so for me, and tell me what you think. Like for me, I'm learning now that it's always been about a balance. It's always been about the balance of like, I'm like less afraid now to like share my faith with anybody. And I'm also very mindful about, for me, asking God how to do that. Right? Asking Him, how should I do this? Because because sometimes some people, it's not even like that's who they are as a person. Some days people are in college level evangelism. And then sometimes, some days,
Elementary, right?
they're in like kindergarten of like, no, it's all simple. The simplicity of the beauty of God's love. But then at the same time, we have to be like, but we have to turn away the best we can. We have to be bold in what we do. So it's like, which one is it, John? It's like, well, it's like having different pastors on different days, because some days we need the solid food and some days we need the milk, because either way, everyone's going to be there, and we're going to, I guess, try the best to get everybody fed.
God let
regardless.
me have so many different experiences that I'm able to relate in different ways. Like I read up on Taoism for like the longest time while going through a couple of my journeys.
Yeah, I have the book right. There's
you
the
go.
Bhagavad Gita over there. The
And it's
Zen
like
book.
the equal, right? They always talk about, and then God's like, all right, I gave you the understanding. You didn't have discernment yet, but you did have the read. And now you're like, now you understand a little bit about equality. Now let's work into more and more. And then when He tells you to look into more, you really start noticing where you're going with it. It's like, where is God leading me? And when He gets you there, that's what we were just talking about a little bit before. It's like children of God. Like, how do you become a child of God? It's like, it's all a mind state, you know?
Yeah, a child of God versus children, or God's children, right?
God's children,
So,
yeah.
so child of God and then God's children. I mean, from my own personal experience, like I don't know biblically where it says certain things, so I'm speaking a lot out of maybe my own ignorance, because if I knew about it, then I could speak more boldly about it. But honestly,
But maybe somebody in the comments will actually give us something
give
great.
us some.
Yeah.
Please, just give us as much as you believe whatever you discovered, right? Because if I say I know, it's definitely
knows nothing.
It's really walks all these things. Okay, so
No,
I know that
no.
I know that like for us, it's very simple that God is love. If I turn to the love, then everything is safe, comforting, and I feel very secure. I get my security from God's love. God is love, right? And everything else outside of that will never give me security. I've learned that for myself. I don't care. Okay, clothes. right? We love clothes, right?
Yeah.
I've seen, I'm like, I was thinking about this in the car. I was just laying and meditating. I was like, you know what? I was like, I've had a lot of my same clothes for a while. Like, I give away a lot of my clothes, but like I've like felt less need for so many clothes because I want to get more clothes to just feed this dopamine hit in my brain. I want to just get something new, and of course I deserve these things supposedly and whatever. And so the thing is that there's no amount of clothing, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of anything that's ever gonna fulfill me because it's like I get it, it's fleeting, I feel it, I have it, and then I'm like, okay, that T-shirt is done with, and I don't even like it anymore. And it's like but like with like my own personal experience with God and God's love, and that's whatever I believe. Like it's endless, and I just want to say that what anyone else believes, if I believe what I believe is true and I want to try my best to act out of that love, I need to, it's irregardless of what anyone else believes. The Good Samaritan, right? They said, oh, we're not supposed to like you guys or whatever, but like these two groups of people didn't like each other, but one person saw the other person hurting and he helped them, even though that they were on opposite sides of their fences of whatever they liked. And like that to me is like, so it doesn't matter, honestly, what you believe, whether you believe, however you believe, like, because how does that affect how I love you? How
Right.
I'm supposed to serve you? Am I not supposed to serve, atheists, agnostic, Muslims, Buddhists? Am I not supposed? Like, who shouldn't I serve then? Name a person that I don't serve.
And when it comes to a human being, we have to take the time out to meet them where they are so that they could grow in whoever they're going to be. Plant the seed. If the seed is done in the right way and cared for, you're gonna get good growth, good fruit.
I feel like that's what I mean. Like planting the seed of, like, hey man, like I'm here to help you, and then maybe they'll question like, well, why are you helping me? Like, whatever. And it's like, no, just because, it's just because that's what's on my heart to do. But only God could do God of
Only
my
He can give you the
understanding.
spirit to want to do that for the right reasons. Yeah, there could be some homeless guy in the street, and he's actually like on some point where it's like, I'm gonna kill this and do this, and then you're like, I'm gonna hug him, and it's like you gotta have a little discernment, like the guy might or might not, but if God gives you the spirit, then you hug him. You know what I'm saying? If God gives you the spirit to hug him, you hug him because whatever happens after you did what you were supposed to do. That's how I feel about
I
that.
think the whole world is maneuvering through people's inner, like, if I hug somebody and they end up stabbing me in the back while I hug them, I think that I've done it for the right reason. If I like, for me, I can't worry about whether they stab me, but it is also wise to keep an eye open of like, this doesn't feel, or like God will tell me this not feeling right or doing right, but it's better to do the other one. For me, it's better take the chance of getting stabbed because most likely you probably won't get stabbed and you're gonna help this person. I
Well-
think take that risk, but with God, I don't think there's a risk because
I was worried about my birthday. Like we could go back to that because we didn't really talk about it, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
for a second, like I wound up wanting to stay in the church and finishing the mural. Everyone was saying, no, you got to come out for your birthday. You got to spend time. We have to do stuff. And it's the gratitude to do and serve, not even to do it for myself. Like, yeah, I had a great time not because of any other reason except I don't do this and it's loving to see people love. Now, have they talked to me? Some people haven't talked to me in years or months. And they're willing to just do something out of nowhere with me, which was concerning at first. But then it was like, no, like have gratitude. Someone cares about you. They want to spend time with you. They want to do these things. You could always have time with me. You could have time with me there. You could have time. You don't have to be doing a mural for me to do this. You could have this anywhere with me. And once you take that time to say, this is my time with you, God, it doesn't matter where you go with it. It's going to put you in a place where you're surrendering in your heart, And that goes in any obstacle. David had to kill, and I don't mean to say this in such a weird way, David killed millions of people for God to make sure that his people were in the right place, right? Isn't that crazy? Like he murdered people, not one person, people, to know that God was like, you did what I asked you to do.
I think this
That's
is a
kinda
great
crazy.
segue. Would you want to do a part 2 to this?
Part 2, do so.
Would you want this to be part 1? And let's continue because if we leave it off at this, people will be like, wait,
Where
like,
they go
that
with
is a great
David?
question. People want to know, like, especially a biblical God, like, why does he ask to kill people?
Right.
So let's end this now, and then we'll do a part 2. Angel, what are your parting words for this?
All
Okay.
right. This song has been stuck in my head ever since I heard it like again for the first time in years. It's a Kid Cudi song, so my parting words are Maui Wowie.
I love that for him.
All right, I'm gonna comment with mine. I wish it was a little bit taller.
Mine is, I wish I was a baller. All right, guys. We're going to see you really quick. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Peace.
Peace.
So what's your podcast about?
Okay, this is making me feel really uncomfortable. Not like it. Is my mic on? Okay. Well then, let's go.